What if someone uses their wealth for their misdeeds? Could they get away every time? A teenage girl was murdered in the year 1981. The perpetrator was arrested, but later was proven not guilty by the court. The then 18-year-old Randall Chavez was arrested for the murder of Leah Harvey. The girl was found laying down naked in her bedroom at 8 o'clock in the morning. DNA evidence found on the scene has been traced to Randall Chavez, who was already a major suspect for being her boyfriend at the time. A trial that didn't last long proved him to be not guilty by hiring Pickler and Garfield. Not even a few weeks have passed, but he's now again a major suspect for another murder of a teenage girl in their town. He was associated with her as one of her closest friends, and some DNA evidence on her car taken before her death were traced back to a different person this time, thus putting him out of the case. He hit the showbiz scene big time after turning 21. Everything that happened before he was a name in the industry was put under a rug to be forgotten. And at 25 years old, a somehow urge to experience sex again made Chavez ask a big name whom he was working with at the time. He was rejected, and his career might be in danger if he ever gets exposed. So he had to do what he could to save face. Haley Lonberg was found drowning in her own blood after falling down a flight of stairs, also causing her a trauma to the skull, which took her life faster than the stab wounds did. The cops investigated, but there were no suspects. In short, justice wasn't served. The case was closed and was never touched again, becoming a big Hollywood mystery. At 28 years old, Chavez was basically at the pinnacle of his life, earning big bucks for his performances, and he also wrote a book about his life and how he lived through every problem that he faced. After taking a break from acting, he tried applying to a business school and see his luck with business, but was rejected. He decided that he wanted to take on another role, and auditioned for the role of a manipulative serial killer, which critics claimed he looks and feels natural for playing the role, as if he was one, a serial killer. It wasn't until 1993 that he'd have the urge to kill again. He befriended a female co-star who was suspected of liking women as well. He doesn't take any chances, as he's currently planning to have another female co-star to be his showbiz girlfriend. Noa Nobunaga, found dead inside a strip club where she usually picks up strippers inside, and where she picks up underage girls outside, according to a paparazzi who caught her at least a few times already. The suspect at the time was unknown, as many celebrity assassinations have happened already, and is not something new. The thing is that you can't just associate them with hired killers or your average murderer. The last known celebrity assassination, which is of Haley Lonberg, happened 6 years ago and is definitely still unsolved. What about having another case like it? The department responsible for investigation found a fingerprint in the crime scene which belongs to one of the strippers in the club. The stripper was interrogated but was unable to give answers, as she stated, "I was not aware, and the effect has already started." She was arrested for drug use and possible murder, and is the #1 suspect for the case. Not a year after murdering Nobunaga, he published another book about his inside life, which became a bestseller. Chavez, who was at the time 31 years old, tried his luck with a female co-star in his current show, Alexander Christie, but was rejected by her. Alexander Christie was found with her disfigured head bludgeoned by a baseball bat lying next to her lifeless body. Chavez, deciding to retrieve his murder weapon, went back to her mansion, traveling in a state only to get arrested as a major suspect for her murder. He tried to run his way out by bribing the cops attending the investigation at the time, $100,000 in cash. Unlucky for him, they were righteous at the time, and they arrested him for murder and bribery. But he wasn't done just yet. He went back to see an old friend, the one that saved his life the first time, Pickler and Garfield. The trial didn't last long. He was proven not guilty of all charges against him, and is free to live his life once again. A fling that he had forgotten with time approached him, claiming that he was the father of her son, who at the time was no older than 4 years old. He might be risking his life, but he knows where to go in case he gets in a tango for murder. So he did what he knows best. He invited her to his home and killed her in front of his and her son, who at the time of his mother's murder couldn't do anything better than cry as his mother's life was taken away from her by a monster that his mother told him was his father. I really don't know what to do with you. The test came back positive. You really are my son. But I bet your mother wants you to join her, Damn it. Come with me. We'll take a drive. Just take this as a bonding moment together. What do you say? Happy? An old man opened the door for the two. The boy recognized the house, as it was his grandparents' house. The old man seemed to be frustrated that only his grandson and a stranger made it back. What about his daughter? You, whoever you are, why do you have my grandson with you? Where's his mother? She's somewhere else. Just not anywhere near the living plane. What do you mean? Let me see her. Where's my daughter? Where? I hope this can silence you. $50,000 in cash. The man took it for the boy that he suspects was already motherless, but he continued to beg the monster that is Chavez for his daughter's whereabouts. He begged, but he got nothing. I need to see my daughter. She was my only child. I don't want to die knowing that she bit the dust before me. Chavez, who at the time was offered a role, left the house with a father, not sure whether his daughter is dead or alive, a mother that shares the same feeling as her husband, and a motherless little boy.